Hello, dear friends, and welcome to Cozy Reading Night. Tonight we will journey into a thought-provoking tale by Hans Christian Andersen, Little Mermaid. Please find a quiet space where you can sit or lie down comfortably. Close your eyes and let yourself arrive fully in this moment. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Let go of any tension you may be holding in your body. Allow your shoulders to relax, your jaw to soften, and your hands to rest gently by your side or on your lap. Now, imagine yourself standing on the edge of a calm, endless ocean. The air is warm, and the gentle breeze carries the scent of salt and sea. The waves lap softly against the shore, their rhythm steady and soothing. With each breath in, feel the fresh, crisp air filling your lungs. And with each breath out, feel yourself sinking deeper into relaxation. In and out, in and out. As you breathe, picture the ocean before you its surface, shimmering like liquid sapphire under the golden light of the sun. The water is so clear, so inviting, that you feel drawn to it. With your next breath, imagine stepping into the ocean. The water is cool, but comforting, wrapping around you like a gentle embrace. As you wade deeper, feel the weight of the world above slowly lifting away. The water supports you, cradles you, and with each step, you feel lighter, freer, and more at peace. Now, as you take another deep breath in, allow yourself to sink beneath the surface. The world above fades away, and you find yourself surrounded by the tranquil beauty of the underwater world. The water is calm, and the light filters down in soft, shimmering rays. Around you, the ocean is alive with gentle movement. Schools of fish glide gracefully by, their scales catching the light like tiny jewels. Feel the rhythm of your breath matching the gentle sway of the water, in and out, in and out. As you float here, weightless and serene, let your mind settle. Let go of any thoughts, worries, or distractions. This is your time to rest, to dream, and to immerse yourself in the magic of the story that awaits. When you're ready, we'll begin our journey into the deep, where the Sea King's castle rises from the ocean floor, and where the youngest mermaid dreams of a world beyond the waves. Take one more deep breath in, and as you exhale, let yourself drift deeper into relaxation. And now, let the story begin. The Little Mermaid. Far out in the ocean, where the water is as blue as the prettiest cornflower and as clear as crystal, it is very, very deep. So deep indeed that no cable could fathom it. Many church steeples piled one upon another would not reach from the ground beneath to the surface of the water above. There dwell the Sea King and his subjects. We must not imagine that there is nothing at the bottom of the sea but bare yellow sand. No, indeed, the most singular flowers and plants grow there, the leaves and stems of which are so pliant that the slightest agitation of the water causes them to stir as if they had life. Fishes, both large and small, glide between the branches, as birds fly among the trees here upon land. In the deepest spot of all stands the castle of the Sea King. Its walls are built of coral, and the long Gothic windows are of the clearest amber. The roof is formed of shells that open and close as the water flows over them. Their appearance is very beautiful, for in each lies a glittering pearl, which would be fit for the diadem of a queen. The Sea King had been a widower for many years, and his aged mother kept house for him. She was a very wise woman, and exceedingly proud of her high birth. On that account she wore 12 oysters on her tail, while others, also of high rank, were only allowed to wear 6. She was, however, deserving of very great praise, especially for her care of the little sea princesses, her granddaughters. They were 6 beautiful children, but the youngest was the prettiest of them all. Her skin was as clear and delicate as a rose leaf, and her eyes as blue as the deepest sea. But like all the others, she had no feet, and her body ended in a fish's tail. All day long they played in the great halls of the castle, or among the living flowers that grew out of the walls. The large amber windows were open, and the fish swam in, just as the swallows fly into our houses when we open the windows, excepting that the fishes swam up to the princesses, ate out of their hands, and allowed themselves to be stroked. Outside the castle there was a beautiful garden, in which grew bright red and dark blue flowers, and blossoms like flames of fire. The fruit glittered like gold, and the leaves and stems waved to and fro continually. The earth itself was the finest sand, but blue as the flame of burning sulfur. Over everything lay a peculiar blue radiance, as if it were surrounded by the air from above, through which the blue sky shone, instead of the dark depths of the sea. In calm weather the sun could be seen, looking like a purple flower, with the light streaming from the calyx. Each of the young princesses had a little plot of ground in the garden, where she might dig and plant as she pleased. One arranged her flower bed into the form of a whale. Another thought it better to make hers like the figure of a little mermaid, but that of the youngest was round like the sun, and contained flowers as red as his rays at sunset. She was a strange child, quiet and thoughtful, and while her sisters would be delighted with the wonderful things which they obtained from the wrecks of vessels, she cared for nothing but her pretty red flowers like the sun, excepting a beautiful marble statue. It was the representation of a handsome boy, carved out of pure white stone, which had fallen to the bottom of the sea from a wreck. She planted by the statue a rose-colored weeping willow. It grew splendidly, and very soon hung its fresh branches over the statue, almost down to the blue sands. The shadow had a violet tint, and waved to and fro like the branches. It seemed as if the crown of the tree and the root were at play, and trying to kiss each other. Nothing gave her so much pleasure as to hear about the world above the sea. She made her old grandmother tell her all she knew of the ships and of the towns, the people and the animals. To her, it seemed most wonderful and beautiful to hear that the flowers of the land should have fragrance, and not those below the sea, that the trees of the forest should be green, and that the fishes among the trees could sing so sweetly that it was quite a pleasure to hear them. Her grandmother called the little birds fishes, or she would not have understood her, for she had never seen birds. "When you have reached your 15th year," said the grandmother, "you will have permission to rise up out of the sea, to sit on the rocks in the moonlight, while the great ships are sailing by the town, and then you will see both forests and towns." In the following year, one of the sisters would be 15, but as each was a year younger than the other, the youngest would have to wait 5 years before her turn came to rise up from the bottom of the ocean and see the earth as we do. However, each promised to tell the others what she saw on her first visit, and what she thought the most beautiful, for their grandmother could not tell them enough. There were so many things on which they wanted information. None of them longed so much for her turn to come as the youngest, she who had the longest time to wait, and who was so quiet and thoughtful. Many nights she stood by the open window, looking up through the dark blue water, and watching the fish as they splashed about with their fins and tails. She could see the moon and stars shining faintly, but through the water they looked larger than they do to our eyes. When something like a black cloud passed between her and them, she knew that it was either a whale swimming over her head, or a ship full of human beings, who never imagined that a pretty little mermaid was standing beneath them, holding out her white hands towards the keel of their ship. Soon as the eldest was 15, she was allowed to rise to the surface of the ocean. When she came back, she had hundreds of things to talk about, but the most beautiful, she said, was to lie in the moonlight, on a sandbank in the quiet sea near the coast, and to gaze on a large town nearby where the lights were twinkling like hundreds of stars, to listen to the sounds of the music, the noise of carriages, and the voices of human beings, and then to hear the merry bells peal out from the church steeples. And because she could not go near to all those wonderful things, she longed for them more than ever. Oh, did not the youngest sister listen eagerly to all these descriptions? And afterwards, when she stood at the open window looking up through the dark blue water, she thought of the great city with all its bustle and noise, and even fancied she could hear the sound of the church bells down in the depths of the sea. And so, the little mermaid waited patiently for her 15th year, dreaming of the world above the sea. But little did she know, her journey to the surface would change her life forever. What wonders and dangers await her in the human world? Find out in the next episode of The Little Mermaid. In the next episode, the Little Mermaid finally rises to the surface, where she witnesses a grand ship and a handsome prince in peril. Will she save him? And what will she sacrifice for a chance at love? Don't miss the next chapter of this enchanting tale.